We're still talking about entrepreneurs and opportunities for young Nigerians to venture into their own personal businesses. And we know the rate of criminality in the country seems to be rising because of unemployment. It's a problem we're facing. And we're trying to see how we can encourage and also better inform young persons venturing into their own private businesses. And we still have a business coach and entrepreneur joining us on this lovely discussion, and he's still around, and we're talking about Felix Akpos. I want to come to you. We do know, before we went for that break, we talked about funding, but I want to ask this. Would it not make a lot of sense if some certain young persons come together and open up a venture together in bringing both ideas and funds? Because we rarely see that play out in this country. In Western world, we see most big brands, a combination of many young persons with similar ideas and a love and flair for a certain business. Why are we not finding that much here?
Okay, I think that's a very wonderful idea, and that's the reason why I said, I always tell people that collaboration is the future of business. If you can't collaborate, then you're out of business. You can't do it all. Yeah. So I think it's a very wonderful idea. But more reason why it doesn't fly here, it's because of the level of trust as it relates to individuals and young people. You know, I talked about the issue of mindset earlier on. Some people have the mindset of delayed gratification, why some have the gratification, why some other ones have the mindset of instant gratification. So imagine if 3-4 persons coming together and then 3 of them have the mindset of delayed gratification, and one does not have that mindset. And that one seems to be the key player in that team. It's going to crash at everything. So what I think is the way forward is for young people out there to, even if you're coming together to create such kind of venture, you can do it in such a way that you, first of all, you create the venture in such a way you have time, space. Okay, you say, let's run this for 5 years and see how it goes, and then we can know how to expand, or maybe probably we can now see how we can bring out other things into it, and we can have, you know, all that stuff. So if we have a time limit, we know that, okay, we're signing contracts, we're working, so we're binded by the law. Whatever it is that happens, anybody that walks away with nothing. So not just doing it, coming to do collaboration with no paperwork is a no-no for me. So I think every young person out there, try as much as possible. You have the talent, you don't have the money. You have the skill, you don't have the money. You know an uncle that has the money. You can meet up, you can approach the uncle. This your son is studying engineering. Let him collaborate with me. You bring in the phone. The 3 of us collaborate together and we start up the business. I will be the active partner. Your son can actually come in between when he's always on holidays, and then you will be the financial investor. And then we'll share the equity of the business accordingly as it relates to that. So I think that's a welcome development as it relates to creating brands.
Let's look at our access to local and even international markets in trying to push our brand. Because, for example, you see what the Igbo guys in Nigeria do. You know, they are just something else when it comes to their collaboration with the international market. I mean, you go to the Asian countries, China, Malaysia, and all those places, they are there, and they are still holding sway in Dubai, surprisingly. And but you do not see that in other parts of the country. Not like we are not business-minded like they are. I mean, we try to do what we can, but what can we really take home from what they do? You know, how can we latch on what they do? And you know, try to reflect that into how we do business, and then grow from there.
Okay, I think what folks from the East, what they really do to be able to expand their tentacles to all parts of the globe, it's very simple. You know, there's a popular saying that common sense is not common. Now, one major thing I think these guys to do is this. They even do it around here. Now, these guys, they might actually want to sell something to you. They might not literally have that thing on ground, but they would let you know that they have that thing and they can provide it. Immediately you say yes, then definitely will look for a place to sort it out and bring it to you. That's one major thing they do. Richard Branson said something. He said, when somebody gives you an offer, say yes, then look for a way to get it done, even if you don't know how to get it. So I think people around this space can actually imitate taking your brand global by, first of all, having that right mindset that I really want to take my brand global. Then secondly, you understand where are the places I can actually gain acceptance more easily with my brand. If you locate those environments, look for a medium or a channel on how you can get your product across to that particular place. Don't do it alone. There are shipping companies, there are other people there you can partner with, you can send your product. Even if at the beginning you're making no profit, it's okay. Provided you take your... I was watching a documentary some years back. This young girl, she deals just on cupcakes.
Okay.
Now, she does cupcake in, I think in Namibia or so. And then she wanted to take that cupcake global. Cupcake is a normal thing that people do every day. But why does she want to take that cupcake global? And why will it gain acceptance in the global market? She wanted to add a recipe that will be medicinal to every ailment in your body. That will even help to build your immune system. Just a recipe. So that particular niche now, that particular recipe she's adding to that cupcake will do two things. One, it will make that cupcake to gain acceptance into the global market. So you as an entrepreneur, you want to take your product or your service global. What is that niche? What is that quality? What is that single thing that you have in your product that will make it to stand out in the global market? There's this one-year akamu that sells akamu in all of the chefs all across the globe. I was privileged to meet her in a conference sometime in Lagos and in Abuja. We met like twice. And I just asked her a question. How possible can you be shading akamu in chefs in the UK, in the US, and Europe, and everywhere? And she told me just one thing. He said, difference. She just looked for a way to do the same akamu in different flavor. Simple. Even if she has to add coloring or whatever, she has brown akamu, she has vanilla akamu, she has different, but it's the same akamu. She understands that even if some people like the normal akamu, some other ones feed with their eyes first before their mouth can feed. So for you to gain acceptance into the global market, look for one major thing that will make your product stand out. Incorporate it in. Look for partners on the other side. Because I believe you cannot get to the other side. Look for someone who is on the other side. Or look for someone that knows someone on the other side. And then you get...
Similar
you talked about mindsets. I want to take you back to an experience I had traveling. And well, I went to a store to buy a recharge card. And the lady there said she didn't have... I wanted to buy 1,005. She said she didn't have that of 1,005, but she has 500. And I said, you know, I had to even ask her, don't you have other denominations? Yeah. She said, no, she doesn't have 1.5. Okay, you don't have 1.5. Do you have others? She said, I have 500. Hey, give me 3 or 500. You know, it's just common sense. Yeah. But this happens to us all the time. True. You go to a store, you want to buy something, and instead of the person latching on that opportunity, you know, to want to sell. If I was in a position and I even had only 200 recharge, I would have sold up to 1,004 and even volunteered to recharge it for you, you know, to save you the stress of wanting to load it up. Just to sell what I have to sell. And another thing I have noticed, you go to the open market, you want to buy something. You know, like in Lagos, if you go to the Lagos Island Market or you go to Balogun, all those places, and you want to buy something, they have these guys, they are mostly Igbo guys, they call them Osafia or something, they call them Osafia boys. They don't have a store, they don't have anything, they just hang around. They look out for customers who are really like confused, looking out for a particular thing. They approach you, and they take you to a store, sit you down, even buy you a drink, and go get it for you. And you'll be amazed that these guys do not even have a store. They will do that for years on end until they're able to gather enough money to start off their own business. But we do not find that here down south. We don't have that mindset. Another thing I've noticed is when you are in a market, like you go to a market to buy something, and you are asking for a particular item, and the person there seated does not have it. She knows her next neighbor has it. She will say, you know,
and that's done.
And that's it. And you might go like a distance. Meanwhile, it was just by maybe she does not like the woman, or I don't know.
She
like
what really goes on with sell that much as she does.
Well, so let's talk about the mindset really.
Your mindset has a major role to be able to play in everything you do in life, because when you're giving birth to your mind, it's empty.
Of course.
Is empty. So the first thing that actually helps to build your idea, your mindset, and your decision, it's your environment. The environment where you stay. It plays a major role in creating your belief system. So a lot of people have a wrong belief system. But you need to understand that a paradigm shift is a must for anyone. And it's something that you have to do consistently. You need to keep on learning and relearning consistently. This morning I've unlearned some things and I'm relearning new things. Even as we're here having this talk, I've learned a whole lot of things. So you must constantly do that. You see that person that that refused to tell the customer that he was having that stuff close by the shop close by. That person is not doing wrong to that customer. He's doing wrong to himself. Because multiple customers will still come to that person's shop and she has everything and that person will still not recommend her. You see the reason why I said the future of business is collaboration.
Of course.
You are helping me and I'm helping you and then we're flying together. That's the way it works. And until young entrepreneurs start having that mindset. You know, people think some of these things we're talking about, it's for those big brands in quotes. No, we're coming down to the grassroots level. You see that Akara woman that sells there, she can collaborate with one of those bank officers in the bank and said, I can be packaging Akamu and Akara for you guys as breakfast. That's collaboration. Yeah. In their EMS in the morning, they open up the floor for general talk, and then that person lays it on the floor. And we're like, okay, it's good. Now, the only difference that will make those people to accept that idea is when the packaging is right. Yeah. When you bring a nice packaging, she's selling Akara there. Other people are selling Akara, making 4K every day. But with her supply chain, she might be making 40,000 in just one day. So imagine if she has that channel and that link in 5 different banks, and she's making 40K-ish. That's 200K. Plus whatever it is she's selling there.
At the side.
At the side. So she will just have just one delivery man, logistics guy that just comes to pick up. And he pays that guy $500 to do delivery for him every day. Simple. And makes 200K, you know, in a day. So the mindset is everything. The mindset is everything. So young people out there and every other one that wants to go into entrepreneurship, you need to have the right mindset. If you have the right mindset, and then I think that's a starting point for you to become a global brand. Let's talk
about the patience to
venture in.
Yes, you know, like when you start off a business, it's almost like, how would I put it now?
A child learning to walk.
It's like a child learning to walk. Yeah. So the mindset is, oh, when I start off this business now, in the next 2-3 months, I should have this amount. Does it really work that way? For example, we know a vast majority of our people here, we like to go into hotels, that's hospitality business, and then setting up filling stations, you know, that's another very viable business around. But even when you venture into this type of business, you know the cost of buying the property is not being so.
You just want to reap in the profits.
Yeah, and then you have to set up a structure. If you are building a hotel, you know what goes into, you buy ACs for maybe 100 rooms or more. Yeah. You have to buy beds. I mean, the exterior, the interior, everything costs money. And so do you think that a person who ventures into that type of business is going to rake in profit almost immediately? Or what's the time frame really to help to watch that business grow up to a certain level before you begin to rake in profit?
I think basically on that, every business have their lifespan as it relates to reaping out profit and getting dividends from the business. Okay. Now, for that Akara woman that sells a business, an investment might be just 5,000 naira. So give her the next 2 months, she might be reaping benefits from that, dividends.
Or even takes 2 months?
Yes. Because first of all, you don't have a customer base. So the first thing you need to create is a customer base. Now, secondly, the next thing you need to do is to create a referral platform. Because for you to make profit, if you have the same people buying from you over and over again, you will make the same amount of money. Every day. So you need referrals for you to make more money so that you can make more profit.
You need spread.
Yes, you need to spread. Then secondly, thirdly, after having that referral, you know, platform, the next thing you now need to do is to be able to look for more channels on how to do that same one thing in different ways. That's multiple streams of income. So that one will now triple your income. So that's when you now talk about profits, and then you talk about the business succeeding. Now, every business needs this 3 pattern on how you can be able to gain dividends from it. But like I said, every business, depending on the investment you put into it, that's what determines the
What's
period of
process?
time that you look at. Therefore, some business you need 5 years. There are some you need 10 years for you to be able to gain access. But first of all, if you do your paperwork very well, your feasibility study, and then you're able to do your projections, your financial projections. Reason why you need financial analysts, you need a lawyer, you need different professionals to be able to work with to do these projections for you. And as you do this projection for you, you already have a roadmap that you always fall back to anytime you want to do your KPI, key performance indicator, to be able to review your level of progress and how far you've gone. And then you can be able to get dividends. So if you are doing a business of like 30 million naira as an investment, you can expect to get profiting in the next 12 months.
Of course, so.
You can't.
Wow.
So you have to make sure that, okay, you're giving yourself, it's even better for you to say, if I'm looking at 2 years in gaining dividends, add one more extra year to it.
To be sure.
So that you would know that you are sure and you're here to stay. Because if you're projecting 2 months and then you're supposed to take 5 months, and the 2 months pass and you're not seeing the dividends, you become frustrated. And a lot of business, 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs log out of business and the entrepreneurship world because of frustration. So because they are not ready, or because they have programmed themselves, their mindset for instant gratification, and is not forthcoming, they will say the business is not successful. That's why the most popular quote says that most of life failures are those who never knew how close they were to success before they gave up.
Well, what you just said now, you know, it's kind of, I mean, I'm a little bit
but
philosophical.
that's how most people
I'm
do
a
it.
little bit philosophical. So, you know, listening to you now, it just takes my mind back to how life is brought into this world.
Yeah.
You know, the number of
Stages.
weeks or months it takes a dog to give birth is not the same as a cattle or a woman.
Everybody has
Or,
his
you
own.
know, so everyone has their time frame.
Yeah.
And so every type of business has its time
Time
frame.
frame to gain dividends.
Okay, well, it's now time for
For
us
us to take the
to open the
calls.
phone lines and take those calls. And we have a call already on the line. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning. Hello? Michael?
Well, okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, we seem to have lost that, but do well to call. It's only right to just give out the numbers in case they're listening. If you're listening to us on the radio, it's 08022931931 and 08188888931. And if you're watching us on the TV, well, the numbers are there on the screen already, and then you can just go ahead. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you calling from?
I'm Richard.
Hello?
I'm Richard calling from Uganda.
Okay, Richard. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this. Years. I really don't know how to start, what to do about this. You know, I'm very big on, like, okay, so I'm starting a funny business, like selling food for maybe an organization, a bank, or this thing.
Hello, Richard. Well, I could barely hear what he was saying.
Please do well to call
Well, just
us
do well
back.
to call
Yeah.
because let's really get to what you mean and see how well we can help you with that. That will do nicely. Okay, well, let's see if we have another person on the line and go through the calls then. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning. This is Maxwell calling from Ghana.
Maxwell, good morning to you. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, I would like to thank you, Mike, and my sister dear Ruth, and the resource person. He has spoken, so well concerning entrepreneurship and the prospects of youth, and entering into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But I would like to add something to what my brother Akpos has just said.
Okay.
I had the opportunity during my military training to go to China,
Okay.
and I heard what they said to us concerning their development and the development of their infrastructure, the manufacturing, the production, the extractive industry, and expatriate they produce and sell to other nations, especially like Nigeria.
Yeah.
Government has a lot of role to play if you look at the Asian tigers, it was a deliberate policy by the government to develop their people, to empower them. In fact, it got to a stage where China has a policy to send their people outside to go and acquire knowledge, productive knowledge. They came back home, and today they are competing with the United States. That is not what you will find in Nigerian system.
True.
The Nigerian system will only give you 10,000 naira traders money to go and start a table shop.
True. Very true.
There is no security. How can you establish your own business and you cannot fly those businesses or, take them by road to, for distribution? There is no good road. There is no light. Like here I am staying in Ghana. If you want to borrow money here, it is a little bit cheaper for entrepreneur, SME. Just, I think, about 75% for us here. And we are trying to see if we can, we are still complaining that it's difficult. My light here has not blinked for the past 1 year, 6 months. And if it blinks, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes, it is restored. We have running water. We have good roads. There are free movements, and especially there is security. How can an entrepreneur thrive in Nigeria? An Igbo master that just, settled his apprentice, gave him 1 million naira, 2 million naira, gave him a store, and asked him to stay in his house until he is able to stand on his own. So the Nigerian government will end up giving you 10,000 naira. True. How much is 10,000 naira? Not even up to $10.
That's all.
Nigeria is a destiny killer. It is individual, like Nollywood. What you see Nollywood is doing today is not government intervention. It is individual. It is only individuals that are developing the country. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Master, for your contribution.
Well, I don't know. We have.
I envy him so much. When he keeps talking about constant electricity, I can't wait really to see that happen.
This goes to show you that policies and programs of the government
have a long way and far-reaching
help, or rather, scare these persons away. That's just the honest truth.
And the truth is, these government personnel, they know these things. They travel to these places. They see these good facilities. But I don't know why when they get back, they just don't want to do it for the masses to enjoy. The resources are there. They are not yours. They are for the people. Instead of reducing the rate at which people pay interest on loans for SMEs, you are increasing their tax payment tariff.
It's fine.
Now you're saying there was a time they came up with a policy that they're going to be charging, as a business entrepreneur, you're going to be charging you for tax for your corporate business, and they will charge you for tax for your personal business. So if you're having 2 different accounts, they'll be taxing you as an individual, and they'll be taxing your company. That's absolutely wrong. Wow. It's absolutely wrong.
You know, sometimes, Ruth, someone once told me that anytime you jet out of Nigeria, maybe when you get to the cloud, it's different. So when you get to where you're going to, it's better. But when you're coming in, anytime you pass through that cloud, your mentality changes. And when you come here, you behave differently.
It's all psychological.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're the same people, whether we're there or here.
It beats me
mindset
why
thing.
they just can't do the right thing here.
We keep going around in circles in that. And sincerely, I don't want to get to that point where I'll just be like, you know what?
You're done.
I'm not going to say anything. But thank you so much, FX, for making our time to be with us this morning. It's been wonderful talking to you. And hopefully we'll come back and talk about the taxation and its effect on businesses in this country. Okay, and the program still continues with Michael. And of course, he'll be joined with Good News John on the sports side of Quest Today. I am Ruth Alabo saying, do have a beautiful